to get you down, sir, I say, hoping to comfort him. But Mr. Yanagishita just lets out a sob-choked sigh. I try again. It'll be okay. Whether or not it helps you lose weight, it is spicy and it does make you sweat.
CJ, fill in for that.
I'm not sure I follow.
Chewy says.
How much you selling these bottles for, boss?
Justin, you fill in.
Sorry about that.
It's good.
15,000 yens per bottle?
Is this me? Oh. What?
Cherry's jaw practically hits the floor. Mine does the same. No way. Nuh-uh. No freaking way. Calling that price point absurd wouldn't begin to do it justice.
Well, look. Selling it at that price is my only option. I need to cover my costs. Anyway, please, I need you both to work your hardest.
Apparently, he's committed to this insane course of action.
Okay.
Chiri replies. It's more like a sigh than a proper response, but I can't blame her. As for me, I can't. Yeah, just sit there. Just sit there and don't speak up. I can't just sit there and not speak up. Isn't this just a scam, sir?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Yanagishita plays dumb. Fine, I repeat myself. This is a scam, isn't it? He tilts his head to one side.
Something's wrong with my ear.
Undeterred, I repeat myself once more. This is a scam, isn't it? Tears are welling up in Mr. Yanagishita's eyes.
Look, kid.
He says huskily.
Listen up.
He's clearly struggling to maintain his calm.
You're in a Kronos world now.
I nod a few times. But
What?
a scam is still a scam, right? I say.
You.
Sir?
What's your name again?
Oh, it's Tama.
Okay. Tama. Why are you still wearing your costume?
What? He straight up dodged my question. Oh well, at least I tried. I explained the situation with my suit.
Wow. So, then, are you gonna be doing all those sales demos like that?
Well, if I can't take the mascot costume off, I don't have much of a choice, do I?
No. That won't do at all. I hired you to be a model.
Ah, damn it.
If you're wearing that thing, then what's the point?
I'm at a loss for words. The point is exactly what he's missing. It's not like I'm wearing this getup because I want to.
How about we just cut it right off, yeah?
Chiri says with a big grin. She pulls a massive pair of scissors out of her bag. The blades make an unsettling snip, snip sound as she waggles them in my face.
Whoa! No, you cannot do that!
Yanagishita exclaims.
That suit is rental! I don't want to have to reimburse them for a thing!
Well, then what am I supposed to do? I ask. He looks at me uncertainly.
Maybe you could have someone from the rental place come down.
Chiri suggests, before helping herself to the rest of my lunch.
Oh, hey. Good idea.
Yanagishita says. He seems to be making an effort to calm himself down, at least.
Just try to grin and bear it until then, Tama.
Well, I guess that's that then. I'm sure we'll get it off eventually, I say. Hopefully before the demo.
That's the spirit. I really need you to be my model.
A model, huh? It's flattering, but I can't help but wonder, would I be any good at that? Well, this is no time to be timid. I need that money, no matter what. My troubles all started earlier this morning. Flashback. I was at a knick-knack shop on Center Guy. I'd happened to pass by and I spotted a red necklace on display in the storefront. And I got this weird sensation when I saw it. You could maybe call it deja vu? Something like that. It was as if I'd been drawn to it somehow. This was mine. I was sure of it. I wanted it. No, I needed to make it mine. As soon as I possibly could. That's how strong the feeling was. The price was 40,000 yen. I checked my wallet repeatedly, but I only had 20,000 on me. Nonetheless, I needed to have it. There was just one question. How? Somehow I managed to drag myself away from the shop. Just a few minutes later, I ran into Mr. Yanagishita.
Hey,
A voice said out of nowhere.
if you want, I can pay you 10,000 for a day's work.
I found myself staring at this frumpy, middle-aged man who was handing me his business card. Managing Director Junichi Yanagishita, Yamato Health Foods Co., Ltd.
I'm in a real bind here. Need some extra cash? Need some extra help? Would you mind coming with me? Begging you, just one day.
He seemed pretty sketchy. As much as I needed money for that necklace, I wasn't going anywhere with some random weirdo. I ignored him and tried to just walk it off.
Please! Please!
Yanagishita grabbed me by the hand. Watch it, pal, I snapped. Hands off or I start shouting for help.
Please! It's not like that. Just hear me out.
Look, I'm in a hurry.
Please! Please!
Knock it off! I spun forcefully away from him, yanking my hand from his grip.
Oof!
Yanagishita whirled through the air and fell into the bushes.
Whoa! Where'd that come from?
He gasped. His eyes were wide as saucers.
You a martial artist or something?
No, I think that was just a fluke. The truth was, I was surprised myself at how well I'd pull off that escape move.
Okay then. Look, I'm sorry. Can you give me a hand?
No way.
No, I mean, give me your hand. My hip's killing me here. Oh.
I guess. The least I could do was help the guy get to his feet. Look, why are you hounding me so much?
Please, don't be angry. The moment I saw you, I just felt it. You're the only person who could possibly do this job for me.
I let out a sigh, but my interest was admittedly piqued. What kind of job?
I need a sales rep for a health supplement. I want you to do PR as a dieting success story for my product. Just look at you. You have the body of an actress. Sales are gonna go through the roof.
Well, it was hard to feel too offended when he told me that. The job didn't seem as fishy as I'd initially suspected it. All right, maybe I'm interested, I said. There's just one thing.
Yeah, whatever it is, I'm sure I can handle it.
I think got that line mixed up.
Oh.
Like, I think there's just one thing should be Justin's line.
Oh.
Let's start from there again.
Oh. Wait, I'm
All right,
confused.
maybe I'm interested, I said.
There's just one thing.
Yeah? Whatever it is, I'm sure I can handle it. I was right.
Oh, damn it.
I need 20,000 yen as soon as possible. So if the day only pays 10,000...
Alright then. If you can sell 100 bottles at our sales event, I'll throw in another 10,000 as a bonus. How's that sound?
I certainly couldn't think of any other way I was going to earn 20,000 yen in a single day. This might be exactly the break I needed. You've got a deal. You have my services for the day, I said, bowing my head.
Woohoo! Yes!
Yanagishita jumped for joy. What about your hip?
Huh? Oh, yeah. It's all better now. Oh, see, I just fixed myself up.
Yanagishita bowed deeply as I gave him a dubious look.
Look, I'm sorry.
He added hurriedly.
I wasn't trying to pull a fast one on you. Honest. I was just scouting for talent and I saw you and, well...
Was trusting this guy really the best idea? I was starting to worry, just a little, about whether he'd actually pay up.
Look, I staked everything on this sales demo later today.
He went on.
This is the make-or-break opportunity of a lifetime.
Sure.
I'll be honest with you. I'm in a ton of debt. 2 million yen. 2 million.
Yanagishita's tone had taken on a feverish intensity.
If I don't pay it back by the end of the day, then boy howdy am I gonna end up in the creek without a paddle.
How did you even get into a situation like that? I asked. He gazed skyward, a far-off look in his eyes.
Because even if he knows he has no chance of winning, sometimes a man just has to stand and fight. But I guess a girl like you wouldn't understand.
He laughed and smiled at his own words, but he was right. I sure as heck didn't understand in the slightest.
Anyway, real quick. Could you put this on?
Mr. Yanagishita briskly rummaged through his bindle and thrust a cat costume out toward me. What? Here?
Yeah! Before the sales event, gotta hand out some samples. The job's already started, you know?
And with that, Mr. Yanagishita went about getting me into the mascot suit. Looking back on it, it was a pretty ridiculous turn of events. Still, if I'm going to get my hands on that necklace, I have to take the chance that this job will pay out. There's a knock at the door.
Huh? Who could that be?
Mr. Yanagishita asks. Yep. Sorry.
We got a customer already?
He opens the door and heads outside.
No way, is that a customer? I can't English today, I'm sorry. No way, is that a customer?
Chiri says.
I mean, right?
She guzzles from her 2-liter bottle of iced tea.
No one's gonna buy something as sketchy as this.
I guess not, I agree. About the only thing I can really say about Burning Hammer is that it's spicy.
Anyhow,
Chiri says.
wanna go get something to eat?
But you just ate lunch. 2 lunches.
I know this amazing Chinese buffet. Wanna come along? Because I'm gonna dominate.
Huh?
Someday I plan to chow my way through every item on their menu.
Before I can respond, I hear a sudden outburst in the hallway.
It's me there?
Go for it.
What the hell are you thinking, selling something like this?
The voice sounds harsh and strained. It's quickly followed by another voice, Mr. Yanagishita, sounding desperately apologetic.
Well, be fair now. I did ask whether or not you were on an empty stomach.
He must have given someone Burning Hammer, huh? I say. Chiri nods.
Yeah, maybe. But that's weird. Did we really get a customer this early?
Yeah, isn't the sales demo not until 1 o'clock? There are more sounds from the hallway. Chiri gets a weird look on her face.
Whoa, what? What the heck? What's going on?
Die!
Suddenly, a man kicks down the door and bursts in, shrieking like a madman. His face is flushed, steam is erupting from every pore. Chiri and I can only stare, frozen with bewilderment, as he rampages around the room, smashing everything in sight. In a matter of moments, the venue is completely totaled. Then the guy simply charges back out the door. No chance of holding a sales demo now. Why did this have to happen? Who was that guy? Why did he have to do this? I'll never get that necklace now.
I think we're seeing
Osawa
this.
called up Tanaka over the intercom.
Okay, we went through this part.
Are you sure we didn't do this part?
Oh shit, you're right, it is kind of new. Let's start from here.
Mr. Osawa, are you going somewhere? A stolid-looking man stood in the hallway, almost as if he'd been waiting for Osawa to emerge. It was Yoshio Kajiwara, one of the detectives from the Shibuya precinct. He struck Osawa as a bit too soft-spoken and meek for a detective, really. And his treatment of the kidnapping case gave an impression of flighty detachment that made him seem rather undependable. No, not really. Have there been any developments, Detective? Kajiwara shook his head quietly. I'm sorry, sir. I'm not really sure what to tell you. Kajiwara then slipped a hand into his suit pocket. He pulled out a banana. Are you hungry? These are good for when you're tired. I'm fine, thanks, Osawa said. Kajiwara seemed to lack a detective's sense of situational awareness. Just being around him got on Osawa's nerves. Well, sir, I need you to come with me, the detective said. If you don't mind. He took Osawa by the arm. As Kajiwara hurried him toward the living room, Osawa could hear other detectives talking on the other side of the door. I'm not sure this one's me.
Panda, just do a voice.
Is it Kuze?
It's someone else, I think.
All right. He's working at a time like this? Seriously? Sheesh. I do not get rich people and their priorities.
Okay, this is someone else. Duck.
Yeah. I feel bad for his daughter. Her dad's a real piece of work.
Nice. They were bad-mouthing him in his own house.
Who is this?
Oh, I'm really sorry about all that, Kajiwara said, pausing in embarrassment. Osawa pushed past him and opened the door. A number of police detectives had holed up in the living room. They went suddenly silent as Osawa entered. So tell me, he said sarcastically, would you rather I stay here weeping as I watch this disaster unfold? The detectives winced and grimaced. Forgive me for not being a perfect father, he added, at his hostility building. Kajiwara stepped forward to intervene before things got out of hand. Now, let's not be touchy. I am not being touchy, Osawa snapped. But he knew full well that he was. These guys had the time to sit around backbiting him, but not to go out and bring Maria to safety. Already close to half a day had gone by without any new developments. The ransom demand had come in the previous night at 8 o'clock. Maria had been abducted roughly an hour before.
Nolan.
You mean to do this one?
Oh yeah, you can do it. You can do it.
Tomorrow, 10 a.m., by Hachiko in Shibuya. Have the sister, Hitomi, bring 50 million yen. If not, the girl's life is forfeit. The kidnapper called only once, so the police were unable to run a trace.
CJ, fill in.
I'll do it.
Hitomi said.
Anything for my sister.
She didn't hesitate in the slightest at the suggestion that she make the ransom handoff. Osawa was staunchly opposed to the idea, but the police were of the opinion that it was better to acquiesce to the kidnapper's demands. Ai's reaction, on the other hand, baffled nearly everyone.
Jules.
We don't have 50 million just lying around. Are the police going to be putting that together for us?
Kajiwara stepped in to reassure her. If it comes down to it, the police will be able to help raise the money.
Okay. Go ahead then. Do it.
We'd need you to pay it back afterwards, though, of course.
Well, then what's the point of that?
Ai's voice spiked up to a piercing shriek. Calm down, Osawa told her. You're making a scene. Ai turned away in a huff. It's all right, Detective, Osawa continued. I'll talk to the bank first thing tomorrow morning and figure out something. At that, I stormed out of the room. Kajiwara bowed his head several times in apology. As soon as Hitomi has made contact, we'll apprehend the suspect and take things from there. What? Hold on. Won't that put Maria in danger? if we let the kidnapper get away with the money, we have no proof that he will return the hostage safely afterwards. There was a certain logic there Osawa had to concede. I see, he said. So you're saying that catching this bad guy will be easier for you if he keeps my daughter hostage? No. That's not what I was implying at all. Kajiwara wiped the sweat off his brow and bowed profusely. At least, I promise we'll get your daughter back safe and sound, Mr. Osawa. Obviously, there was nothing to be gained from further challenging the detectives. Alright then. I'll let the police do their job. Osawa bowed even lower than Kajiwara had.
How long are you going to just loaf around?
I shrieked as she stormed into the room.
Hurry up and arrest this guy.
She was becoming increasingly hysterical. An hour had passed since the suspect had taken the money, and yet the police had made no effort to apprehend him. The police apparently had a rule against discussing an operation before it was fully resolved, and so the Osawas had been left in the dark. But they had overheard the task force talking over the wireless, and it appeared that they were deliberately letting the suspect roam free.
Hey!
I snapped again.
If he gets away with our money, you are going to reimburse us, right?
Osawa scowled. She made it sound like the money was more important than Maria's life. The detectives exchanged uneasy glances. I'm gonna chide my wife. Osawa chided his wife. It's only money. It doesn't matter.
Only money? Are you serious? Do you have any idea how much we're talking about here?
The ferocity in her voice left him with no response. He should have known better than to expect her to make sacrifices for his daughters. By now, he was accustomed to Ai's coldness towards the two girls. The twins were Osawa's daughters from his first wife, who'd passed away 15 years earlier. Ai had no blood ties to Maria or Hitomi herself.
Well?
Ai continued.
Are the police going to reimburse us or not?
She glared pointedly at Kajiwara.
Is that my line?
Oh no, that's me, sorry. Well, right now we're focused on making sure Maria is safe. I stormed up to him, shouting right in his face.
Stop dodging the question! Answer me!
Yes, of course, Kajiwara squeaked. Maybe, would you like something to eat to help you calm down? He held out a banana. I smacked it out of his hand. Oh, no, dear. What a waste. Kajiwara scrambled to retrieve the fruit from the floor. Osawa went over to Tanaka and whispered into his ear. I'm going to meet with Mr. Makino. Tanaka nodded silently. Turning, Osawa saw Kajiwara looking in their direction. They made eye contact, but Osawa quickly looked away and strode out of the living room. Kajiwara followed after him. Excuse me, Mr. Osawa. Yes? What is it? The detective fussed sheepishly with his hair and forced a smile. Sir, we'd appreciate if you could remain in the living room as much as possible. Osawa was in no mood to stand on propriety. Look, I've got a ton of work to do, he said. Are you here to tell me to play the role of the grieving father too? No, not at all. Personally, I happen to think you're an admirable father, Mr. Osawa. Admirable. Did the word have a ring of sarcasm? He had no way to tell if Kajiwara was being forthright with him or not. You're no ordinary fellow, Mr. Osawa. You're a genius. A genius? Me? Osawa made a skeptical noise. Am I mistaken, sir? You've made very important strides in the field of virus research. Or, well, so I've been told. Osawa wasn't sure how to respond. He had never considered himself a genius. He was just someone who was more interested in viruses than he was in other people. Everyone knows a genius is also a little bit odd after all, Kajiwara went on. Probably he'd intended that as a compliment, but still. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with weirdos. So long as they leave us ordinary folks alone, you know? Is this guy trying to praise me or insult me? Osawa let out a heavy sigh. Genius, weirdo. What did it even matter? So long as he could be left to his work, he didn't care one whit how he looked in other people's eyes. Kajiwara wiped the sweat off his forehead with a handkerchief. By the way, what are you working on right now? He asked. I'm afraid you wouldn't understand even if I explained it to you, Osawa replied. Right. Precisely. Even if I gave it my full attention, it would still be beyond me. He peered with sudden intensity at Osawa's face. I'd appreciate it if you didn't hide things from me, sir, he said. Osawa gaped, at a loss for words. Oh, I'm so sorry, Kajiwara added hurriedly. Goodness, that made it sound like I'm accusing you of hiding something, didn't it? The detective bowed his head repeatedly. I hope you'll forgive me. He held out the banana. That won't be necessary. How about this then? This time, he pulled a bar of chocolate from his pocket. No, thank you. Did this guy just carry an endless food supply wherever he went? Oh my, Kajiwara murmured. You geniuses really are tough to sort out. It jumped. What can I get for you then, sir? What I'd really like is some time by myself. In a daze of exasperation, Osawa felt his way to his study. Locking the door, he finally let out the breath he'd been holding, then his eyes alighted on the bookshelf against the wall. He pulled out a photo album and began to flip through it. There were pictures of his daughter's grade school enrollment ceremony. Their mother had already passed away from illness, so Osawa had taken the girls himself. He remembered that after the ceremony, Hitomi had come down with a fever. Hitomi had been rather sickly as a girl, falling bedridden at the drop of a hat. Maria, by contrast, had been lively and energetic, quite the handful. Osawa had found it remarkable that their personalities could be so different despite them being twins. He flipped further into the album. There was a picture of the three of them at their grade school graduation. Maria was looking away from the camera. Osawa felt like someone had stabbed a dagger in his heart. His daughters, or virology? Which truly concerned him more? Which did he truly love? It was ridiculous to try to compare the two. He'd known the answer before he even asked himself. Even so, human emotions were complicated and sometimes made people act inconsistently. One of the consequences of that was this photo album. This was the last photo he had of Maria. He searched and searched through the rest of the album, but she was nowhere else to be found. It was a bit of a hike, but maybe he should go to Dogenzaka and check out Endo Electronics. Yeah, that should give him what he needed to put together the Society of Surveillance piece.
Okay, I'm heading out. And don't even think about doing anything else stupid while I'm gone. Got it?
Minorikawa hustled out of the editing office, hoping Toyama would take his admonition to heart. Exiting the building, he hopped into the taxi that was still waiting outside.
Thanks for waiting. Can you get me to Dogenzaka ASAP?
Son of a bitch!
Minorikawa bristled.
Beg your pardon?
That son of a bitch you wanted to give a piece of your mind, sir. Was he waiting for you like you expected?
Oh, yeah. And I damn well did give him a piece of my mind, too.
Glad to hear it, sir.
Taxi sped off. Minorikawa pulled out the proposal and looked it over again. The idea for the surveillance story revolved around the claim that hidden cameras would be installed throughout Shibuya's shopping districts, upwards of 500 of them. Supposedly, these had eliminated lots of blind spots and the crime rate in the area had dropped significantly. The cameras were managed by Daisuke Endo, the owner of Endo Electronics and chairman of the local downtown committee. That was Minorikawa's first mission then. He needed to get this guy's story. Getting to the side of the road, Minorikawa finally spotted a rundown electronics shop. Sign out front, which looked like it might fall off at any moment, read Endo Electronics.
Right here's fine.
Taxi stopped and Minorikawa pulled a 10,000 yen bill from his wallet.
Keep the change.
He said,
What?
Look, don't sweat it. The name's Minorikawa. And I'm a freelance writer. I care about two things. What's real and what's true. There's real worth to what you've done for me. And there's a token of my appreciation. It's not much. Please, take it.
Minorikawa slid out of the taxi and headed for the electronics store. Inside, Endo Electronics looked more like a mountain of hoarded junk than an actual business. Towering piles of ancient appliances stretched toward the ceiling. Old television sets with dial knobs leaned against computers with 5-inch floppy drives. What possible use could there be for all this outdated stuff?
Mr. Endo, are you in here?
Minorikawa called out. Nobody came to greet him. The shop was definitely open, though. Surely the proprietor hadn't left it unattended.
Hey! Mr. Endo! Come on, I know you're in there!
After a short wait, Minorikawa heard sounds from the living space behind the shop. A door opened to reveal a tired-looking, middle-aged man.
Frank.
Yeah? What do you want?
Are you Mr. Endo?
Minorikawa asked. I am, the man said guardedly. And I'm sorry, but I'm in the middle of something at the moment. Could you come back tomorrow, or,
Please, give me a minute. I'm a freelance writer. Name's Minorikawa.
Minorikawa showed Endo his business card.
I'm writing an article. 4-star general gossip.
Huh. Magazine piece, huh?
Precisely. So, if I could have just a little of your time today...
The phone rang, cutting him off before he could get down to business. I'm sorry. You'll have to excuse me for a moment. Endo reached into the clutter and pulled out a telephone. Hello, Endo Electronics. The proprietor listened for a moment, then raised an eyebrow. Yeah, that's a problem, all right. All right, understood. I'll try to get a hold of the customer then. Endo set the receiver back down.
What was all that about?
Minorikawa asked. Oh, yesterday I sold someone a dry ice machine. And the manufacturer just called to let me know the model is defective.
Defective?
Apparently, once it starts making dry ice, it won't stop. I need to tell the customer I have to recall the machine and refund their deposit. Please, give me a moment. Endo sifted through some sales slips, read a number off of one, and made a phone call. Nobody picked up on the other end, however. Ah, that's right, he grumbled to himself. He said there's some performance today.
Performance?
Minorikawa asked. Yeah, I sold it to a guy from some theater troupe. They're called the Wandering Angels or something. The Wandering Angels. That was Shinosuke Orai's theater troupe. Minorikawa had an interview with them booked for 2:30. Anyhow, what can I do for you? Minorikawa hastily explained that he was after what he was after. Endo gave him a dubious look. As I said earlier, I'm a bit busy right now.
Busy cleaning up, I hope. How did you get anything done in this mess?
Hey, now that's a low blow. Why are you this rude to all your interview subjects?
5 minutes! Give me 5 minutes of your time, please.
You've got to be joking. Come on, get the hell out of here. Endo headed for his back room in a huff.
Fine. Then I'll just have to write about what you've already told me. Namely, that Endo Electronics sells defective merchandise.
Huh? Just what are you implying?
Did you not sell that theater troupe a defective piece of equipment?
Look, I'm gonna get in touch with them as soon as...
I'm betting they're in a hurry preparing for their performance. I doubt you'll be getting through to them today.
Endo bit his lip.
Now that I have your attention,
Minorikawa said.
let's make a deal.
What kind of deal?
I'm meeting with a member of the Wandering Angels a little later today. I can let them know about the dry ice machine for you. In exchange, all you have to do is give me my interview.
Endo scowled. And where's your proof that you'll be meeting with the Wandering Angels?
I might take advantage of a guy when he's down.
Minorikawa replied.
But one thing I'm not is a liar.
Shopkeeper took a few moments to think about it. Fine, he grumbled. 5 minutes. That's all you get. Minorikawa whipped his notepad out of his coat like he was drawing a gun.
Then let's get right down to it, shall we?
Go right ahead.
So, I hear that over 500 surveillance cameras have been installed throughout Shibuya's shopping district.
Yes, that's right.
Why so many?
Well, we used to have a lot of delinquents in town. Endo said the word with marked distaste.
Oh yeah? I remember there being some problem kids around.
They were real punks. They vandalized my signs, made a mess of my storehouse. They were just awful. Minorikawa scribbled diligently in his notepad. Heck, my own son put together a sort of vigilante squad to help teach those punks a lesson. How do you know?
Wait. Vigilante squad? Whoa. Hold up right there for a second.
Minorikawa jutted out his hand to interrupt. This guy's son was part of the vigilante squad. What a stroke of luck. Maybe he could also provide some info for the article on the gangs of Shibuya.
sorry, I don't mean to get too far off topic here. But, tell me the name of this group your son belongs to.
They call themselves SOS. Prided themselves on being the top gang in Shibuya and all that. The top gang in Shibuya?
Did I really just hit the jackpot right here? To pat myself on the back, but go me! All I have to do is step outside, and the story finds me. I think I might be a natural at this. As it happens, I'd also like to interview people from SOS. Would you be able to put me in touch with your son?
Yeah, sure. But you should know that my son isn't in the gang anymore.
Hitomi, look.
There was. A blue van had appeared nearby, a hard from the spot that had been empty previously. Achi couldn't see who was inside, but there was definitely something fishy about it. Besides, there weren't any other blue cars around, so this had to be it. He'd been right. The crooks had come back after all.
I'm gonna take a quick look.
Achi said.
You wait here.
But before he could carry out his plan, Hitomi jumped to her feet. Without a word, she'd rushed towards the van.
Hold on, I said wait!
He wasn't slowing down. Achi caught hold of her arm.
Wait! This could be dangerous. What if the kidnapper's in there?
And what if my sister's in there? I have to go help her!
Achi knew full well what it was like to be impulsive. But this was one situation where cooler heads would have to prevail.
We can't just hang out here!
She insisted.
What if the car takes off again?
That's why I said I was going to take a look first.
But isn't that dangerous? What if they do something to my sister because some random guy comes snooping around?
Yeah, you got a point.
Achi thought as fast as he could. The criminal told Hitomi to get into the van. There had to be some specific reason for that. What if they were planning to abduct her as well? Whatever the case, he couldn't just let her go. He had to make a snap decision.
I'm gonna go first. Look, just let me go first. I don't want to put you at any risk.
Hitomi's determination wavered in the look of Achi's eyes.
Please.
He continued.
have no idea what we might run into. If I think they're gonna try to run off again, I will give some signal. Then you can come along, and I doubt they will be interested in leaving that.
Hitomi gave a reluctant nod.
Please, be careful.
Will do.
And tell me if my sister's in there.
I will. You can count on me.
Achi stepped out into the open and started walking toward the van. He tried his best to look as if he wasn't paying it any attention.
Yep, I'm just an ordinary passerby.
As he got nearer, he tried to sneak a glimpse inside. The van's dark window film made it hard to see who might be inside, or even how many people. Casually, he moved closer still to get a better look. Suddenly, the sliding door burst open and several people jumped out. None of them were Japanese. Within moments, Achi was surrounded.
Whoa, what? Hey, what's the deal?
Achi said. He let out a little chuckle.
Man, that thing must be packed. How many seats you got in that thing, anyways?
He took another step toward the vehicle and looked inside. One of the men pulled a knife from inside his jacket, thrusting it out in Achi's direction. He'd probably meant it as a simple threat. But on reflex, Achi went into self-defense mode, kicking him right in the jaw. There was a loud crack as his foot connected. The man dropped out like a light. The others stared and rushed him. Well, this sure hadn't gone as planned.
Too late to take it back now.
The damage was done. Achi was just gonna have to take out the rest of these punks too. He nimbly shifted his feet, evading their initial attack. Having to take these guys on 3-1 wasn't gonna be pretty.
Achi!
He heard Hitomi cry out. Crap. He hadn't given any signal, but she had come out of hiding anyway.
He told me, stay back.
How was he supposed to fight off 3 guys and protect her at the same time? What could he do? What should he do? Within moments, a number of passerby had gathered around the fight. Maybe they'd heard Hitomi shouting. Hey, what's going on?
Oh my god, is that a knife?
This ain't just some petty squabble.
Someone call the police!
Some of them began taking photos with their cell phones. One of the men cursed in frustration and signaled for his buddies to get back into the car. Achi couldn't stop him. The engine roared to life, the van sped away. Knowing he'd never catch him on foot, Achi merely watched it go. He'd failed. This was his fault. All of it. Achi bit his lip. Hard. How could he possibly face Hitomi now?
Achi.
voice was hollow, empty. Achi stared down at his feet like a scolded child.
I'm sorry. I didn't see whether your sister was in there or not.
I see.
The words, so simple and matter of fact, stung him to the heart.
I'm so sorry.
But Hitomi simply shook her head. The fact that she wasn't even chewing him out made him feel all the worse.
I know I messed up, but
He was going to say, I'll make up for it somehow. But he froze with fear at what he saw next. Across the street, staring at them, was the man with the cane.
He told me, it's him!
They had to get out of here. He grabbed Hitomi by the hand and bolted down Dogenzaka. The assassin followed, staying on his side of the road. Achi wasn't sure what to do. Should they try heading into the alleys and side streets again? No, it was more dangerous to head someplace where there'd be fewer witnesses. Best stick to Dogenzaka for now. The man wouldn't be able to gun them down if they managed to lose themselves in the crowd along center guy first. Besides, the guy had to use a cane. Achi and Hitomi could outrun him. Hand in hand, they sped along Dogenzaka and through the intersection in front of the 109 building.
Come on, Hitomi, just a little farther.
Okay.
She was panting, but she pressed on. Achi risked a glance back over his shoulder.
Huh?
He stopped in surprise.
What's wrong?
That guy. He stopped following us.
The slope leading down to the intersection wasn't all that steep. It was strange that the gunman hadn't bothered to pursue. Still, there was no time to worry about his behavior right now.
He told me, can you still run?
Yes, alright.
Then this is our chance. This way.
They needed to put plenty of distance behind them before the assassin came after them again. But they also needed to find the van again and rescue Hitomi's sister. Would they be able to find it and yet stay hidden from the man with the cane? Achi wasn't sure one way or the other, but with Hitomi in tow, he hurried onward towards the guy. Yeah, sure. But you should know that my son isn't in the gang anymore.
Oh,
Minorikawa hesitated.
guess he's of no use to me then.
Oh, believe me, I know how you feel. The look on Endo's face spoke volumes. There was no point in interviewing Endo's son if he wasn't with the gang anymore. It figured that Minorikawa's run of good luck would end eventually. Still, he'd gotten a lead in the form of a name, SOS. That was progress.
Alright. Let's back to the matter at hand.
Flipped his notepad back open.
What did you decide to do about all of these juvenile delinquents?
I set up a tiny little web camera in order to protect my property.
I see. And I'm guessing the webcam did the trick?
Oh, sure did. And so then other local businesses heard about it and started asking me to install some for them. Web cameras aren't particularly expensive, so it wasn't too tough to set them up all over downtown.
So who's in charge of these security cameras?
Members of the downtown business committee take turns. And cameras are connected via a wireless network that business owners can access throughout the area.
How's your security for this wireless network?
Oh, no problems on that front. Endo seemed surprised at the question. All the footage sent over the network is fully encrypted.
Still, can't feel too good about being recorded on camera without their knowledge. What do you think?
Minorikawa asked. Shopkeeper's expression darkened. We hope to strike a balance between crime prevention and protecting individual privacy.
Uh-huh. And who determines what the balance is?
Minorikawa let a note of challenge slip into his voice. That would be me. I've been entrusted with the management of all the security cameras.
I see. So essentially, you're providing your own moral oversight.
Are you implying that I'm abusing my authority? Endo shot back. I'm doing this in the name of public order. Right. You've had your 5 minutes. Now, get out of here. Shopkeeper stood up and headed into the back.
I'll be sure to let the Wandering Angels know about the dry ice machine.
Minorikawa hollered at the closing door. Endo didn't reply. Minorikawa had gotten enough of the story to put an article together, so he decided to hurry to a coffee shop and get started on some copy. He was making his way down along Dogonzaka when his cell phone rang. The incoming call displayed showed Chiaki's name.
Chiaki, what's going on?
sounded like she was on the verge of tears.
What's no use?
I can't do this. I just can't talk to people passing by on the streets.
What? Why not?
It's just that people seem so busy when they're walking past. If I try to interrupt them, they're gonna be all mad at me.
Well, who the hell cares if they get mad?
Minorikawa was ready to start ripping his hair out. She whimpered again. Well, this wasn't about what she wanted, was it? She was supposed to be working, not whining.
Look, Chiaki, you need to get me those interviews, period. Do I make myself clear?
He hung up before she could squeeze in an objection.
Damn it.
Minorikawa muttered.
Just one more thing.
He pulled at his hair a few times, then cast his worried gaze in the direction of Shibuya Station.
Force it off on the businessman to my left. Clutching the free sample. Ooh, bye. Here you go, sir. A free sample of Burning Hammer, the latest and greatest diet drink. The businessman flashes me a look of utter contempt and makes a point of avoiding me as he slips past. Bam. There goes the wind right out of my sails. I wonder how the other mascot is doing about now.
Let's go through these. Duck, start and concentrate. I think we're able to move on.
Concentrate. Keep your eyes peeled.
You know what? Duck, you keep narrating.
Okay. Sasayama gave Kano a pat on the backside and slipped away into the next car. The suspect, meanwhile, was still staring out the window. The announcer's electronic voice filled the train compartment.
Panda. Okay, Nolan, you do just announce his voice or something.
Next stop, Harajuku. Next stop, Harajuku.
Huh?
Kano almost cried out. The suspect was moving towards the exit door. Apparently, he was only taking the train one station down the line. The train pulled into Harajuku station, and the man got off. The detectives following him disembarked accordingly. The suspect walked along the platform and took a seat on an empty bench. Was he checking to see if he had a tail? Sticking around on the platform at a station where you just got off was pretty unusual behavior. Not wanting to arouse the man's suspicion, the investigators from the MPD made their way down the stairs as inconspicuously as they could. Kano, however, had a sudden inspiration and went to speak to one of the station attendants.
Sorry to bother you, but I think I left something on the train just now.
He tried to keep an eye on the man on the bench as he fed his story to the attendant. The suspect sat silently on the bench, attaché case clutched securely in his arms. He didn't really look like he was checking for a tail. Was he waiting for someone else then?
まもなく1番線に品川東京方面行きが参ります。危ないですから黄色い線の内側までお下がりください。
Before long, a train heading counterclockwise around the loop arrived. The man rose from the bench and stepped up to the boarding area.
Wait, what the heck?
I think Frank's back, so...
Oh, okay, we can't continue that.
If this guy had got on the counterclockwise train, wouldn't that just take him right back to Shibuya Station? The man boarded the train. Kano had no choice but to follow suit. Was this guy playing then? Suspect got off again once the train reached Shibuya. All he'd done was go to Harajuku and come right back. Kano reported into Kuda.
Suspect has returned to Shibuya Station. Kuze, are you there? Doc, you step in.
Acknowledged. Keep telling him.
Kano felt himself growing increasingly paranoid. This criminal organization didn't seem too keen on getting away. And here was HQ giving these guys free rein. Something was off, he was sure of that. As he tailed the mark, Kano took out his phone. What were Tateno's instincts about the case right now? If the senior detective had any advice, Kano would love to hear it. He dialed Tateno's number. The line rang a few times, but nobody picked up. Probably he was too busy seeing to Hitomi's safety. Kano felt bewildered. They'd been letting the suspect lead them around for over an hour now. During an abduction case, you generally didn't update the victim's family on any developments in the case they tried to interfere. Kano could only imagine what the Osawa family was going through right now. After a short walk from Shibuya Station, the attaché case was handed off yet again. This time, the recipient was a tall, dark-skinned man. Again, the Shibuya-based task force split into two groups in order to tail both suspects. Kano stuck with the man who had the case. As the previous man had done, the newest suspect wandered around Dogenzaka for a while. Repeatedly looping around and around the same locations was a weirdly roundabout way to make series of handoffs.
Right, go for it.
Excuse me, detective.
Oh, no.
Kano turned around with a start.
Nolan.
Oh, hey.
He said.
I know you.
It was Leland Palmer, the lecturer who'd been an eyewitness to the kidnapping. The man practically radiated concern.
How is Maria doing? Is she alright? I am very, worried for her.
His Japanese was more halting now.
My heart, it is with her family.
Kano gave a quick look around. Didn't appear they were being watched. Maybe Palmer knew more than he told the police earlier. If Kano talked to him now, he might get some additional clues.
Actually, Leland, do you mind if I ask you a few more questions about a party where the kidnapping occurred?
Leland squared his shoulders.
No, please, ask anything.
You know what time Maria showed up at the event?
Leland hesitated, thinking.
Probably around 6 o'clock. She was there when it started.
Was there anyone else there who stood out?
Stood out? How?
Like someone you usually wouldn't expect to see there.
Leland tilted his head.
No, I don't think so.
Everyone there
Everyone there was a student from my class, including the exchange students.
Not much new here.
Thought. He decided to ask one last question.
Do you happen to hear why Hitomi was running late in the first place?
Oh, no. Sorry, I'm not very helpful, am I?
Leland dipped his head in apology.
It's alright. Thank you for your cooperation.
Please, help Maria.
I will.
Kano parted ways with Leland and went back to tailing his suspect. He pulled his phone from his pocket. It was Rumi again. It was weird that she'd called twice when she knew he was in the middle of something important. And something happened while she was waiting at the cafe with Shizuo. Kano picked up hurriedly.
What's the matter? Kyle.
What's the matter? You know what the matter is.
Oh.
Rather than his soft soprano, it was a threatening, masculine voice that came over the phone.
Uh-oh.
Kano felt his whole body stiffen with dread.
Is this my father-in-law speaking? Frank, really deep voice.
Don't remember anyone's father-in-law. The speaker's tone was firm and flat.
No, I know. I just,
Kano found himself at a loss for words. So, you're dating my daughter, huh?
Sir, yes, sir.
Kano barely squeaked out his reply. Thinking about getting married.
Yes, sir. And speaking of which, I'd love the chance to sit down and have a nice long...
Then how long are you gonna keep me waiting? Hurry to get your ass over here. Oh, how very much Kano wished he could do exactly that.
Sir, I would, but...
Forget it. The words came out in an angry huff. You can't have her. Goodbye.
What? Sir, please, wait!
As Kano cried in desperation, he heard Rumi's voice on the other end of the line.
Dad, you can't just use my phone like that!
You were taking too long in the bathroom.
Give it back!
Rumi,
Kano tried and failed to keep the heartbreak out of his voice.
sweetie, what's wrong? Your father
Sweetie,
just...
what's wrong?
Oh, whoops, damn. Your father just said he doesn't want us getting married.
What? Dad! What did you say to my boyfriend?
Listen to you. Calling that boy little pet names and whatnot. I think you're a little too attached.
Daddy, you haven't even met him.
That's why I told you to have him come see me. How long is he gonna make me wait? Kano listened as the two argued on the other end of the phone. The phone must be lying somewhere between them.
This is getting a little awkward. Rumi, I'm sorry.
Kano shouted apologetically into the mouthpiece.
This is all my fault. Please, You don't want to fight like this.
The phone clattered as Rumi scrambled the pick to bring it to her cheek.
No, I'm the one who should be sorry.
Sorry for what?
Sorry for what? It was Shizuo again, grumbling in the background. You have nothing to apologize for.
I'll deal with my father.
Rumi said hastily.
You just focus on work, sweetie. I know you're in the middle of something really important.
Thanks, Rumi.
Hana was legitimately touched.
I'll do my best.
Hana hung up and went back to the task at hand, more determined than ever. For Rumi's sake, not to mention the victims, he needed to focus on cracking this case. The man he was tailing was walking several meters ahead. There was no telling when Kuze might give the arrest order. Hana braced himself to spring into action the very instant the order came down.
And are you still there? Proceed.
Do you want me to do that high-pitched voice for Kuze, or?
I don't think he's excited right now. It's just do some.
Alrighty. Mobile command to all units.
Once more, the director's voice came in over the wireless. Was it time to make the arrest at last?
We've identified the man who first picked up the attaché case by the statue of Hachiko.
No arrest yet then, but still, a crucial development.
His name is Tariq Al-Karawan. He's got priors for larceny, illegal possession of narcotics, you name it. He belongs to a foreign criminal syndicate that's operating in Shibuya.
Hana felt his apprehension rising. If this syndicate was behind the kidnapping, they were anything but amateurs. And though they might be leading the police on a wild goose chase, they certainly weren't playing around.